Everyone has something to share, in either wisdom, story, or logic. And it's clearly amazing to hear all the different missing links discovered by people, unique to their own journeys, and in how they have come to discover them. Together, we can help to build a bigger picture for a better future, for a brighter tomorrow. Let's stand united. Let's remove the veils, and let's create a new world together. Are you that missing link? Join Jesse Hale on the Missing Link Talk Show as he helps to unveil the mystery through the unique wisdom and story of others.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome everybody here back to the Missing Link. Today we're excited to talk to someone who's been a targeted individual, and he comes from Long Island, where he met women. He got married, moved to New Jersey. When he found to be completely corrupt, he fought and angered the authorities and the local judges. How are you doing today, Donald Caggiano?
Caggiano, yeah, I'm doing all right. Thanks, Jesse.
Well, welcome to the Missing Link. Why don't you start off with telling us about your journey, a little bit about your background, education, maybe what part of the world you grew up in, what part of the world you're in now, if you can share that information. Whatever you wanted to share about yourself here with the audience, especially if they're hearing you here for the first time.
Okay. Oh, my name is Donald Caggiano. I'm from Long Island. 54. I grew up in a dysfunctional family. Found out later that it was a curse, a family curse. And I was sabotaged, and I wasn't down with the family curse and the two-face and the narcissist thing, and so I was always fighting. So my parents made a deal that they're gonna screw up my life behind my back because I'm disrespectful. So that's what happened. And I tried to get an education, got somewhat of an education, but I couldn't finish because of the trauma. I think I was traumatized a lot when I was a baby, and probably got some brain damage. So what happened is I met a woman, and we got married, and moved to New Jersey, where I found out that it's completely corrupt. The whole state, from one end to the other, completely corrupt. So I was, fighting the law all the time, and the judge, and all that, for many years. And and then moved to another part of New Jersey, Hunterdon County, and that's where I had a problem with the police. They thought they saw me doing something on the road and I wasn't doing, and I got angry. I was in a bad mood. I got angry about it. So the cop sends me 10 tickets in the mail. So I'm trying to fight that. And what they did, they put on a kangaroo court. They gave me my own court time, my own court in a little town court where there's not going to be any witnesses. And they put on a kangaroo court when they screwed me. And, so I was dealing with that. And then a mechanic vandalized my car. And I tried to get justice for that, tried to take him to court. And that's when they decided that they were going to put charges on me. That's when I saw the sheriff was driving around my house, and he was trying to target me and put charges on me. And so they didn't have to give me justice. I kept coming back and back all the time for court because they wouldn't give me justice. So they kept postponing it until they could arrest me for something. So then this one time at court, they made me real angry. They played me for my anger, and the judge was like an hour late, and I tried to go to the bathroom. He's telling me I can't go to the bathroom. So I just pushed him out of the way and went to the bathroom. Then he grabbed me, he assaulted me, and and he tried to say that I assaulted him. So then they charged me with assault on an officer, and I did like 8 months in jail.
Wow.
And yeah, that's how they solved the problem of me trying to get justice for this guy. You know. So then they really hated my guts because they were trying so hard, but I just wouldn't give up. I knew that they were wrong, and I wanted justice, but I knew how corrupt they were. So finally, they put those charges on me, and then after the 8 months, they still wouldn't let me out. Then they put me in the state hospital for 2 months, and with some very sick people, and other targets in there too. You know, they do this to. I'm not the only person that they do this to. And finally, they let me out. But that's when I sued. That's when I was. That's That's when I was gonna. I sued him. Basically, I sued him, and but like they the judge just dismissed it on some BS, and you know, no, I'm not gonna. And he can't sue him. So that's what happened locally. And then I noticed that there was way too many banks and brokerage houses in town, and I figured that the local people are running some kind of money laundering operation. So I wrote the FBI about it. But it turns out that the federal government, the deep state, knew all about it. Deep state is involved in that money laundering operation. And that's when I became a federal target. You know, and that's when the neighbors moved out, new neighbors moved in. You know, they bought some houses around me, and you know, the stalking and all that, breaking in my house, things turned up missing. You know, obviously people are breaking in my house, and then they got a judge to sign a court order to take my laptop because that's when I had the email to the FBI in there, so they took my laptop, with court order, and all that, and that's when all that started, all the federal targeting, which was 2015. So it's been 8 years now, and they took everything from me. I mean, you could see I'm homeless. I'm living in the woods. You know, they're still doing it to me. They just gave me the wrong food stamps. I mean, they're still trying. It's still going on. So, but that's basically the story.
Wow. That's so you're right now in New Jersey?
No. I left New Jersey in 2018. I went to Doylestown, Pennsylvania. They were doing it there too, and then I went out to Tucson, Arizona, and that was really bad. That's very bad corrupt state also.
You froze there, Don. I'm not sure if you can hear me, if there's an internet block there where you are in the woods, or if they just cut off the feed so you can't share your story. But you are frozen there. Does everybody else see him frozen? Hey, Francisco. Thanks for the love, brother. That way from our YouTube channel, it says you can't fight the system. You have to step away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened there, but we got disconnected. So
probably the deep
that way
state
says you can't fight the system. You have to step away, stop using a legal name for any reason whatsoever, and it takes down all systems from the top down. So part of the way he believes that you can be targeted is the fact that are you still using your legal name? Yeah, so the legal name is a dead entity, and that means they have jurisdiction over it through their through their maritime law, because you're lost at sea. And that's kind of how they control the courts, their kangaroo courts, is the fact that, you're a dead entity. And so, is that your little setup behind you that we can see?
Yeah. It's my tent.
Tent, and you got a little bike,
Yep. Got a bike.
travel around. How far are you away from civilization?
Oh, not far. Not far.
So if you need to get groceries or anything, you can.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
10
good.
minutes. 5, 10 minutes. Yeah.
So how long have you been living in your little area?
I've been here a few months. A few months. Yeah. There was
Wow.
so many problems in it because they want to keep me in the shelter system. They don't. You're supposed to. The shelter system is supposed to be temporary to get people to move people out somehow. Especially if you're disabled like me. I'm supposed to get disabled housing, but they put the kibosh on that. They go behind my back and they destroy that kind of thing. They're trying to keep me in the shelter system where they know I'm going to continue to get beat up and robbed and all that to the point that I commit suicide. That's the plan.
So you mentioned at the beginning that how your family has a curse. Maybe could you share a
Yes.
little bit about what your family curse is and how you're able to break away from it?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I always felt different. I always knew that I was different. I wasn't the same as my peers. Always since I was a little kid, something was different, and then and it was I was always different. I always felt that, and what it was, well, I just found out it was a curse. But I had a very difficult childhood. My family's psychopathic, narcissistic, all of them, most of them, narcissistic and abusive, and they're two-faced. He acted very nice in public, and then came home and would scream and yell because it's about being controlled by your younger brother is a big part of it. So his younger brother was the boss. He worked with his younger brother. It was supposed to be a partnership in a jewelry business, but not really a partnership because his brother was the boss. So he's controlled by his younger brother who studied psychology and knew he was depressed and had depression and kept him depressed for business purposes. Yeah. And so he had an anger, very depressed. It's very, I have the same depression too. And it makes you very angry. It makes you very angry. And he would come home and scream and yell. And I'd be a little baby in a crib. And every once in a while, there'd be a screaming lunatic in my house. And my mother's just sitting there and not doing anything about it. And I think I'm going to die over and over again every week or two. And, that's how it was. And very abusive, mostly verbally abusive. He's like, I'm stupid, worthless, never amount to anything. Tell me that all the time. My mother was no help. Well, said, "Well, I don't think you should say that to him." And say, "Oh, shut up," and scare her. And she'd get scared, and she would shut up. And she didn't tell anybody. I mean, he made sure he married the right woman that was weak and codependent, and he could be talked into anything. And he talked her into that this was normal, but it wasn't. It certainly wasn't.
What's
And
your earliest childhood memory?
earliest childhood memory. Hmm. Oh wow. Oh, I can't even.
Usually when it's very
I don't know.
traumatic in the home, there's a lot of memories. It's hard to remember a lot of things, because of the
Yeah.
trauma. So do you just
Mm,
remember as a kid then just lots of yelling and screaming and, like you were
mm-hmm.
constantly afraid when you were a youth?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember being in the baby in the crib and getting brain damage, but I'm sure this is what happened. I mean, he would do this, as when I got old enough to remember it. And my mother would sit there and just let it happen and not call anybody. She's not calling her family. She's not calling her brothers. She's not calling the cops. She's not doing anything. She just let it happen. And she's got to deal with that now, unfortunately. At 85 years old, she's gonna have to deal with what she did. And the same with my brother, who's a perp and taking gift cards to try and help murder his own brother. So that's the narcissistic curse. But I'm not bound to my younger brother anymore like my father was for his whole life. I'm breaking that curse. So yeah.
So you've
my brother's gonna
go ahead.
my brother's gonna get what's coming to him, just like my father got what was coming to him a long time ago.
Did your father pass on?
Yeah, my father got brain cancer, and he became dumb, like he told me I was. He, yeah, he definitely got the karma that was coming to him, and his brain slowly deteriorated. He had brain cancer, and the tumor was unstoppable, and they tried everything, and eventually they euthanized him because he was just slowly dying. And he tried to apologize for me for something. So he couldn't tell me what. I just found out through my own psychic ability that they made a deal that they were going to destroy my life on purpose. I just found that out, but yeah, that's what he was trying to apologize for, but never told me.
So you
He died of
experienced a lot of emotional and mental abuse. Was there also physical abuse?
a little bit. But I asked for it. I was so desperate for any kind of attention that I asked for some physical abuse. But I got it. He broke a cane over my back one time. But I was big at that. I was a big kid, so it didn't really hurt. But yeah, I was so desperate for any kind of attention that I asked for some physical abuse. Because all I get was it was either nothing or it was an abuse. The only attention I got from my father was abusive. Other than that, he doing his own. He played a lot of golf, and he would be quiet, and he'd be watching TV, and then they didn't care. They made a deal that they weren't going to care about me or my education or anything, my future. That was a deal they made, and then my mother was involved in that.
So Lori makes a good point here. So there is no asking for abuse. The abuse is solely the responsibility of the abuser. So even though you were crying out for attention, even though you were maybe breaking some rules, trying to, push some buttons,
Yeah,
it's never warranted. That's never, this is what children do, and parents aren't to abuse their kids because they're out of control, right? So that was, even though you were, maybe pushing buttons, maybe you were trying to get into trouble to get this attention, it still wasn't your fault. It, doesn't matter, it wasn't you, who deserved to get that abuse. Like she said, it's solely the responsibility of the person that did that to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I never should have been put in a situation where I'm looking for abuse, for attention from my parents. It's a sick situation. I should have been getting the right attention from my parents and being treated right and being cared for about my education and my future. Not asking to have a cane broken over my back when I'm 12.
Did you ever experience any sexual abuse?
No. No, it wasn't about that. No. Thank God.
Yeah, that's good.
I had enough. I had a good experience in the Catholic Church. The little that I had with the school, Catholic school, a little bit of after school Catholic training, and all the sacraments and everything. That was Catholic church I went to was good.
So they
Thank God.
treated you. They didn't mistreat you at the church. They were a nice,
No,
They were a safe place for you.
yeah, yeah,
That's good
that
to
was good.
hear because we don't always hear that, but as well as it's good to hear that there are good churches out there, that not all churches have, these bad priests, that's not every church. It's nice to hear that there are some good safe places, some safe churches, because we hear that some are bad, but then also we hear some stories that are, there are some good places. So that's good for us to all hear that, that was a safe place for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm very happy for that.
Do you believe in God?
Absolutely. I'm very spiritual Christian and a Buddhist a little bit. Believe in the Buddhist thing. Believe in reincarnation. I believe that now I broke this curse. Now I'm done with my human life, and I can move on to heaven.
Do you think that we pick our parents, before we come here for maybe the things that we need to maybe learn in this life?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. People say we sign a soul contract. I don't know. I know I was born into what I was born into because of karma. I believe in karma, and I had a lot of bad karma that I had to work off of my soul. You know. And now I'm thankful. Thankful for all the abuse and all the psychopaths and all the sabotage, because obviously that's what I needed spiritually to get off of my own soul, so I could move on, and I did. I mean, I suffered for 50 years straight, constant psychopathic sabotage from my family to the government. But I'm happy for it now. Thankful.
What do you think your purpose is here?
My purpose here is to cleaning the karma off of my soul, pay it all back. It's a debt. It's a karmic debt. It's a soul debt that I have to pay back. And I hurt people. I was the same kind of, I was in this curse probably before for a long time, and I was a bad guy too. And now I have to pay it back, and I'm paid it back. I feel I've paid it back.
Do you believe that you had some of this karma at birth? Like, do you think this was previous karmic that was put on you, or is this stuff that you had done in this life that you have paid back or look to make retribution for, the stuff that you have done?
Yeah, the karma, I was born with karma on my soul. That's why I was born into the family that I was born into. It's a family curse. It's about my soul. And I was born with it in a constant, from day one, from a cursed soul. I was abused. I was given what I gave others in a past life, and I suffered it, and I took it, and I paid it back, and hopefully I've paid it all back, because I've certainly suffered a whole lot of psychopathic abuse, and I'm sorry for whatever psychopathic abuse that I in the past have inflicted on others, and I hope I've paid it all back.
Well, that's a healthy way of looking at, the stuff that you've gone through.
I gotta think that it's for a reason. Obviously, I'm here for a reason. I've been through way too much to not be here for a reason.
Why do you think that you're maybe so targeted by the authorities and the government and, law enforcement?
Oh, they really hate me. They really hate me. Well, it's just they can't have me knowing that what they're doing. And, I mean, they're laundering billions of dollars in through these banks in Flemington. I mean, that's probably been going on, I would say, since the '60s. I think that the deep state is supplying the mafia in Philly with the drugs, and they're packaging up, they're cooking it up, and they're selling it, and then they're bringing the cash to Flemington. I think it's drug money, and they can't have me. But it's also spiritual. I mean, they know that I'm a very spiritual person, and I'm close to God. And I'm blessed with a great guardian angel. That's my sister. And she lost her entire life to my guardian angel. She died at 8, but I needed her in heaven because nobody ever broke the curse before. So it's spiritual. They're putting curses on me. They're making me forget things. They're sending me cursed money. They sent me $666 one month.
Wow.
It's spiritual. They're satanic. They're absolutely satanic, and they're very powerful Satanists that put spells on people and curses and all that. Because there's so much that's so big, they're causing so much misery. Even in just the state of New Jersey and Philly, they're selling so much crack by the tons that they're causing so much misery that Satan really loves them. Satan gives them a lot of power because they're causing so much misery and death in the world.
Have you experienced much alcohol or drug addiction throughout your life?
Yes. Yeah. I was addicted to the crack business that I'm trying to destroy now. Yeah, I was addicted for 10 years. I smoked a lot of crack because my marriage was bad. It wasn't. She was a great woman. I still love her. We loved each other, but it was just the marriage was just not perfect. It was hard. I got into smoking crack, and I got very badly addicted and possessed. That's spiritual too. I was possessed to the point that I wanted to kill myself. And thank God my wife helped me out of that situation. But yeah, I was a crack addict for 10 years. And that's why part of also why I really want to end the crack business in New Jersey, and this because I know how bad it is and how many people they're hurting, and families that are being destroyed because of the crack they're selling in places like Camden.
Some people believe that the mafia is the deep state, that, they took over the governments, once they made all their drug monies, they made money in the alcohol, they made the money in the drugs, and then they were able to infiltrate all the different branches and levels of government. So, instead, it seems like how the mafia just disappeared, or did they? Did they just all become legalized? Start owning all the politicians, the banks, the pharmaceutical companies, the CIA, all that seems to be controlled by this, mafia. And, even some of the Operation Paperclip, some of the Nazis came into America and, start running all these, places like NASA and stuff. So, there is a big infiltration that's happened, and it just like the flu just disappeared, so did the mafia. They just disappeared, or so you don't hear about that anymore.
I think there's a good people that did a lot of good work and did a lot against the mafia. People like Joe Pistone, and that movie, and other people did a lot of good things for the mafia. But it's all one big organization, from the Masons, the Satanists, to the deep state, to the mafia, to the bankers. It's all one big business. The deep state has the Evergreen, the ships, the container ships to bring the coke from Colombia to Philly. The mob takes it off the dock. They sell it, and then the bankers launder the money. and that's how it works, I think.
Ray says she missed the beginning. Is Don now living off grid, sort of looking behind him? So maybe you can explain, where you're living.
Yeah, I'm in the woods. I'm living in the woods, camping out for the summer because there's so much sabotage at the Social Security office, um, and they want to keep me in this shelter system, where generally there's no supervision, and I get beat up, I get robbed. It's not my scene, So I prefer it out here in the woods, with the ticks and the spiders and the raccoons, because the people, they're forcing me to live with people that are not good people. People in these shelter systems all have some kind of very big problem. Drug addicts, they just got out of prison, and then the people that run the shelter system, they aren't just regular people that are trying to make money. They have to do it. They do it this way, where they have slumlords by the houses, and then the government pays the slumlords for the people. I mean, it's a bad system, because now I got slumlords that are taking money. One slumlord negotiated himself a new Dodge pickup truck for screwing with me. And, everybody's for sale, and most people are gonna sabotage me for for some money or some gift cards or something. So it's much better for me out here in the woods.
Ray is asking, do you have enough food and etc.? Do you need assistance from us for like basic needs? Is there a way that if somebody, was listening to this, that if they wanted to help you out in some way, do you have any means that someone could donate to you?
Yes, please. I'm still very needy. They just cut down my food stamps. I have to find out. I got half the food stamps this month that I'm supposed to get somehow. I think they're expecting me to live on $25 worth of food stamps a week. So, yeah. I mean, I don't have an address uh, right now. I have to get a PO box or something. But yeah, I could certainly use any kind of help. Any help anybody could give me, I'd be certainly very grateful.
Unless someone was close to you, I'm not sure how they would be able to physically help you if you don't have an address, you don't have a GoFundMe account somehow. Do you have a bank account that you could connect to a GoFundMe or something? If there's
Yeah.
something that you could do, if someone
Mhm.
was able to send you a little bit,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, Ray says maybe he can send it to me, but I have no idea. For one,
Mhm.
I'm in Canada. We don't do Cash App, but I wouldn't know how to, send anything to him. So please don't send, me anything. Do you have like a PayPal or something?
Yeah.
Do you have a PayPal account?
Yeah. Caggico. Caggico.
Caggico.
Yeah. Caggico. PayPal. Donald Caggiano.
Caggico.
DON.
Okay, so it's
Caggi.
PayPal.me/CAGGICO. I think that's how it would be.
I mean, that's my business name. I mean, that should be good. Or Donald Caggiano.
Okay, I put that in there. If anybody, if you have, $5 or $10 or anything that you could send him, then that would be great. So,
Yes, thank you.
um, I think it's PayPal.me/Caggico, but his name is, and your PayPal is listed under Donald. Donald
Caggiano.
Caggiano. Wow. We have here Danielle Kelly has gone through similar things as you, and says, Don, you are my brother in Christ always. I love you. Just hearing your story, Danielle was saying, a lot of those things kind of similar to what, kind of going up. So Tony says, no need for mafia these days. The cops and the FDA run it all. Protect the scum along the way. I have it close by and can prove the cover up to get all on the juice. And says, so true, Don. Everyone is for sale. Cash is God. God help those that refuse to abide by it.
Just backstab my own brothers. My own brothers backstabbing me.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, Andrew is saying at the store you shop at, if it's okay if someone sends you a letter there. But if someone's hearing this and he's got a PayPal and you're interested in helping him out, so they want him to live in a shelter, and he can't live in a shelter because he's being abused by the people there. He's being robbed, he's being targeted, things aren't good. So he doesn't want to be in a shelter. So he chooses to live out in the woods with the nature, which it's probably good for your soul to be away from, the concrete jungles, be away from all the drugs, the technology, the Wi-Fi's and all that kind of stuff. You're probably on just your cell phone has got data on it, right? That's how you're connected here today.
Yep, my cell phone. Then I gotta charge it up. Keep my chargers charged, and of course I got no generator or anything out here. Just some power packs for my phone. That's all.
Claudine says, are you hooked up with any community meals or food pantries? Are you still in Hunterdon County?
Oh no, I left Hunterdon County about 5 years ago. They bought our house because they knew how nice it was from being in there and then looking around and stealing my stuff. And they robbed my wife $200,000 and bought our house. I'm in Suffolk County, Long Island. Amen. Thank you.
Gary Waitman says, how about a group home? Do the seasons turn cold? Like, what's your plan? So you've been there a couple months now in the forest, in the woods, but where you're living, is it a cold winter? Is it possible to you to live there in the winter, or are you going to need to try to find some kind of shelter for the winter?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's very cold. Hopefully, I don't want to live in New York in the winter anymore. Hopefully, I've lived my last New York winter. Hopefully, but, I like the desert. I was out in Tucson, Arizona, and I like the weather out there.
Have you ever opened up a Cash App? If you have a
Yeah.
bank account, you can do a Cash App. So Ray says many of us left PayPal after they agreed to take money for opposition posts, etc., which they never did, because I am, completely opposed to the agenda, and I've never had any issues with PayPal. But Cash App is good. He'll get $5 just for opening and downloading via an invite. So you get a free $5 just for opening up a Cash App, and then it gives you a place where people can, could send you. I don't believe we can open up Cash Apps here in Canada. People have asked me that, but Lori Root, which is a good friend of ours for a very long time. She's just a retired nurse from Texas. She just sent you $10 to Donald Caggiano on PayPal.
Thank you, Lori. God
Easy
bless. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Easy to find.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's quite the story. I usually use Cash App, she says. I'll try to send you something, Lori, if you PayPal it to me. Facebook messed with my ability to use Facebook Pay, but we'll inbox. So maybe Ray is going to send something to Lori, which could send you to the PayPal or whatever. So there are some people that would like to help you out. So
that's awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've had Cash App. Cash App is good.
Do you still have a Cash App? Like, do you know what your Cash App account is that the people could send you?
I don't.
Okay.
I haven't used it in a while. Very thankful, though. Man. Very
You are
appreciative of
very welcome.
anything.
Prayers
Thank
up,
you.
she says. A lot of people are
God
praying for
bless.
you,
Thank you.
brother. There's a
Thank
lot
you.
of
I appreciate it.
people that feel, your story. So what's
Hmm.
your mission here? Like, you said that you no longer do crack anymore. Like, are you into
No,
any other drugs or alcohol at all?
I pretty much quit drinking alcohol. It just brings my vibration down. So I don't like alcohol anymore. So I'm trying to keep my vibration up. But I do smoke weed. I smoke pot.
Yeah, I think most of us here,
Mhm.
tend to consume cannabis.
Yeah.
It opens the pineal gland and makes you awake and aware to a lot of the BS that's going on, but not for everybody, because I know some potheads that still believe that the pharmaceutical companies and the governments and all that kind of stuff, trust getting injected with poison, but and they smoke a lot of weed, so weed doesn't
Mhm.
is the factor. But I know a lot of people that are
Mhm.
awake and aware do end up consuming cannabis.
Yeah, it's good. It's good medicine for everything. It's not the best medicine for. I still need to take my antidepressants every day, but it's good medicine for everything.
Um,
Makes life a little easier.
so these antidepressants that you're on, so these are pharmaceutical pills that you take that make you feel better when you take them.
Oh, saved my life. Saved my life. Yeah, I've been taking them since 1995. Effexor, uh, venlafaxine, very powerful drug. And the bad guys have overdosed my capsules and tried to get me like that. They broke in my house. They switched out my capsules twice.
Wow.
One time wasn't so bad, so they figured they didn't overdose me enough. So the second time they really overdosed me good, and I got manic as hell, and I had to go to the hospital and get a pill, and I had to deal with a guy they sent to make sure that I'm not nuts and all that. And but yep, they use anything, any weakness that I have, they're gonna exploit, like the drug addiction, uh, the anger problem, yeah, my medication, any kind of weakness like that is that what they're gonna try to exploit to try to get me. They have
I,
no honor. They have no honor. They're gonna
I've
try to kill a sick man by overdosing his meds. They'll do that. That's how sick they are.
I've heard that a lot of antidepressants that they give to people tend to give people suicidal tendencies. Does those thoughts cross your mind, at all? Like, are you,
No, I think that's more for all kids. That's more for like if you're an adolescent or something that could happen. But no, not for me. No, without them, I do. I have absolute suicidal depression. Without the meds, I just think about suicide all the time when I get depressed.
do
So
you
that's what the
also
meds take away from me.
do you also feel like you want to hurt other people maybe when you're not on the meds?
Well, I get angry. Yes, like I said, like my father's anger, and he would come home and express all the time. Yeah, his depression is anger too. Yeah, and they want to get even with people, but only my family. Not any innocent people. But
The the
that's
city that
only in depression anyway.
the city that you're close to, are there any churches? They have terrific support with food pantries, with like you could maybe take your bike and drive to a church every
Mhm.
couple days a week. I know here in Calgary, Arthur Pulowski does the street church where he's feeding the homeless people for 3 days a week. I think it's three days a week where he's
Mhm.
that's where I met him. I brought food downtown to go feed some homeless people and just saw this street church, and they were feeding people. And I asked them, hey, can I bring my food here and join and feed you guys? And they said, yeah. So are there some kind of churches that you know that can maybe assist you with, food and stuff when you're running low on your food stamps?
Yes, I'm very thankful to the pantries around here that I went through. Yeah, there's one right here through the woods. It's St. Francis Cabrini's Catholic Church, and they do 3 times a week. They do give away some food and some clothes. It's nice. It's I've gotten a lot of clothes that way too.
So the weather's pretty nice. Do you notice there's many where you're living chemtrails and things? Are they spraying to, blocking out the sun a lot, or do you get a lot of nice warm sunny days?
Yeah, not here. I haven't seen any chemtrails in a while. It's good. Well, because New York is Trump's hometown. Trump is going to start fixing things in New York, I think. Even though chemtrails is a federal thing, but.
Are you a Trump supporter then?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Trump's the guy. Trump's the guy that's going to save us targets and the world from this evil, because he's a target himself. Trump is absolutely, without a doubt, a target. As a target, I can see that he's absolutely being targeted. They're using the corrupt government. They're using the trying to corrupt justice system against him, the same as they try to do to me. They try to get me arrested. They have doctors take my blood so they can see if I'm on drugs, so they could use the justice system to try to catch me with the drugs. And they're trying to put me in prison. If they can't kill me, then they could put me away in prison for the rest of my life. That's just as good.
There's a lot of people that like hearing your story here. Not that.
No, I appreciate it. This is my first time. This is my first time in an interview, and I hope I do more. Hopefully, I hope to be involved in the Patriots show, going around and showing support for Trump and being thankful and to everybody, and telling the whole world how great people are, that they saved my life. That good political people really changed things in this world finally and saved my life. That's the kind of show that I would like to be involved in at some point.
So then, do you try to vote like when you can? Do you go like when Trump is out there? Do you go try to cast your vote and make your voice heard?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, but I don't. I don't usually vote, but yeah, I would for Trump. Yeah, I would vote for Trump. Absolutely, I would take the time to go and vote for Trump. And hopefully, he's going to get in there before the election. Hopefully he's got a investigation going on, and he's got a lot of evidence on the deep state. And hopefully that's what it was about. That the papers were about. That the files that he took were, is hopefully evidence against the deep state. And hopefully he's going to bring out some.
Bring out some.
He's going to bring out that evidence, so people are going to get arrested.
Well, we're seeing that the whole Biden crime family is very, very corrupted, very big part of the deep state. And, it's being exposed more and more every day. Are we going to see justice? We sure hope so. Have we seen justice in the past? Probably not too much, which doesn't give a lot of people a lot of hope. But, we still hold on to that there are still good people out there that are, looking to stop this insane, deep state from destroying all that is good here.
Absolutely. I never thought it could change. I was the same as everybody else, the same as the bad guys. I never thought that the government could change. I thought they have it all sewn up. But no, I didn't see Trump coming. I didn't see that. Trump is the savior. Trump is. He's going to end it. He's going to end it. it's going to be a beautiful thing.
I sure
Just
hope you're
have to
right,
be
brother.
patient. Oh, absolutely. I have a great guardian angel. Like I said, my sister died at 8 because as soon as I was a month old, because nobody ever broke this curse before. I had nobody in heaven, and I definitely wasn't going to make it by myself. Between all the sabotage, between the psychopaths trying to kill me, and my own self-destruction, my own love of hard drugs, and trying to forget about how badly my life has been messed up. I needed a guardian angel, and I got a great one, and I'm very thankful. She let me know a year ago that I'm going to break my curse.
That's
I'm
great
very
to
thankful.
hear. So you were 1 year old when she passed?
1 month.
1 month old when
I
she
was born in
passed.
April of '69, and she died in May of '60. She got hit by a UPS truck on a bicycle.
Wow.
Which happens a lot on Long Island because the Indians are angry. The Native Americans are angry about what happened. They took their land, and what they're doing is they take over a young girl's mind when they're riding their bike, and they take over a young girl's mind for a split second, long enough for them to get in front of a car or a truck, and then that's what the natives are doing because they're so angry about what happened. In Glen Cove, they took their burial site, and they found artifacts in the ground, and they cursed it, so they put the city dump on the Indian burial ground. And they really angered the Native Americans very badly. And, my sister had to die for me, though, and I'm very grateful. And I'm going to pay her back by doing good things in this world, and I'm going to make her happy that she lost her entire life to be my guardian angel, so I can break my curse and get to 54 years old.
Is she always with you, or does she come visit from time to time, or?
Always with me, sending me a lot of angel numbers, letting me know communication, always communicating with me, letting me know what I need to do.
When did she first communicate with you? Like, how old were you?
Well, I just figured out. I just realized that. I mean, she just let me know that that's what's going on. That's why I was so self-destructive, and because I didn't know. I thought I was all alone in this. I didn't realize that my sister was with me, being my guardian angel. I'm very thankful.
How long has it been that you've known? Like, has it been a few years? Has it been 10 years? Like how long do you think that, you've known that it's her that's the one that's been with you?
Well, last year I got a message from this African shaman that said he communicated with my sister, and and she wants me to know that I'm going to break my curse. I'm going to break my curse. So that's how I knew. And he was telling me things about my life that there's no way he could have known. He was for real. I believe he was really communicating with my sister.
That's amazing.
I'm very thankful. She doesn't just want me to break my curse. She wants me to know that I'm going to break, not to lose hope, which has been very hard at this, to be so far down when they've taken everything from me and I have nothing, but to know that I'm going to break my curse, and, I'm probably going to be a millionaire one day. I'm learning. God is certainly teaching me patience. I have to be very, very patient. It's very hard, but I'm learning. I'm being patient.
Well, they say they've taken everything from you, but you've gotten your guardian angel and your sister. So
Absolutely.
that strength must just feel wonderful, knowing that she's there with you.
Absolutely. I say my spiritual cup is full. Absolutely full. I have nothing material-wise. I have no house. I mean, they took everything from me. I don't even have ID. Yeah. But my spiritual cup is absolutely full. I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful that I made a vow 27 years ago. At 27, I made a vow that I was going to do the opposite of my family, and I wasn't going to be like that. And 27 years later, it's starting to pay off. And I'm very thankful. And I was born on April 27th.
What sign are you?
Taurus.
You're a Taurus.
Yeah, born
Do
on
you
April 27th.
do you feel like you fit well with what they say what Tauruses are?
I'm stubborn. I'm a stubborn bull. My soul is. I think I feel very old soul. Like I've been here many, 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 many times, and finally paying back the karma that I need to pay back to move on.
Someone had asked for your PayPal again, and then also someone mentioned that. Have you heard about the new movie, The Sound of Freedom?
Oh yeah, Jim Caviezel.
Caviezel, yeah.
The child Caviezel. Yeah, the child trafficking. Yeah, I posted a little piece of that.
Is that something that you're interested in watching?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So she's mentioned that here that if Don might be interested, there are free paid tickets to see The Sound of Freedom. If he can call ahead and book to theater for an afternoon with other patriots, might do his soul good to see truth, even if soft serve coming out. So there are places that you can watch it for free. Some people donate and stuff. So I'm not sure, but this is, if that interests you, maybe look into that, do a little search on, how you can watch it for free, because it might be good just to sit in a theater for a couple hours and just to see some of the stuff, that is going on.
Absolutely. Just to see a film about these people getting arrested and saving these kids. It's just, I saw an interview with them yesterday too. It's just unbelievable that they're selling barrels of body parts and blood, and it's so evil. It's unbelievably evil. I'm so happy that Jim and Ann and other people in Hollywood are dealing with this. It's so horrible. It's so horrible. This is also part of why I want to end the deep state, not just the drugs, but absolutely the human trafficking it's got to end. It's pure evil.
Denise is hearing your story, and she said, "Please repost your PayPal. She's going to send you $20." So it looks like
Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Looks like you're going to get a little bit of support here to help out.
Nice.
So why did they cut your food stamps? Is that just another way to try to push buttons? Like they don't tell you to tell you why? They're just trying to just push you every way they can?
Yeah, they're just psychopaths. Don't give up. They don't give up. They got it. Especially if when I do something, if I win a little battle, then they gotta win a battle big time. They're children. They're hurt little children. If I win one little battle, then they gotta win three. And I gave him a note last time on DSS. I said, be advised, anybody that knowingly sabotages me on purpose is going to be charged as an accessory in a conspiracy to commit murder. In case you people don't understand what's going on here, the corrupt government is trying to kill me, and it's not any kind of joke. And anybody that's involved in this is without a doubt going to be charged in a conspiracy to commit murder. So I'm sure they're not happy about that. I'm sure they're not happy that I informed everybody down at DSS that they could be involving themselves in a conspiracy to commit murder if they're going to sabotage. because they certainly have. It's very obvious. It's very obvious when this
So just remember, if you ever have to deal with them, and you tell them that they have no authority over you, and you ask them, do you stand under God? Is that who you
happens.
pledge allegiance to? And they can't. They can't tell you that. And if they can't tell you that they stand under God, then they have no authority. You have no authority over me. I do not understand. I do not stand under you. I only stand under God. And make sure you just keep that they have no authority. They try to abuse their jurisdiction power. They don't, but we give them the power. That's why they have the power over us. They use this language to get people to stand under their authority, where they don't have any authority unless you give it to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have the authority to do what they want to do, but I'm gonna fight back, and I'm gonna ask for my justice, and I'm gonna want to talk to supervisors, and I'm gonna want to know why. So you're not just gonna sabotage me, and I'm just gonna let it happen. That's for sure.
Did you have any children?
No, no
You were
children.
married for how long?
I was married for about 18 years. It was from 2004 to about 2018, 19.
And she's do you say that you still love her? Is she
Mhm.
you guys have a good relationship still, or how does that work?
Oh, she met another man, so she doesn't, he won't let her talk to me, which is, I was upset about it. But, I don't talk to her anymore, unfortunately. But I do want to pay her back someday. I owe her a lot. I owe her a lot. I will pay her back one day, hopefully.
That's beautiful that you have that in your
Mhm.
heart.
Absolutely. I think about paying her back all the time. I'm sorry that I did what I did. I was just in so much pain that I turned to drugs. And I destroyed the marriage, but it wasn't a good marriage anyway.
Crack addiction destroys a lot of people's lives.
It does, and I want to end it as soon as possible. I want to end that business in New Jersey.
Well, that problem is not just in New Jersey. This drug epidemic is everywhere. The war on drugs created more drugs and more dealers. The war on terror created more terror. It seems like whenever they create a war on something, they make it worse, not better.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's because that they're the ones doing it. That's a psychopathic way. It's satanic backwards. We're gonna act like we really hate drugs, and we're gonna declare war on it. But the reality is that we're really involved because we want the high profits. We want the money, the billions of dollars that people are spending on drugs, and we want to collect that. I'm telling you to your face that we hate drugs and we're trying to stop it. When the reality is that we're the ones facilitating the drugs because of the greed. It all runs on greed.
Does anyone ever bother you where you're at? Because I know I've seen in my cities, any of the woods that are kind of around the cities, you got these cops on bikes that go and they look for people that are illegally camped out places have you ever been bothered where you're at?
Yeah, I was up in the front by the road, and then I think somebody snitched on me over there. Park park ranger came in and kicked me out of there, so I had to move up deeper into the woods. But not over here. Just people, people coming by stealing some stuff sometimes. That's about it. Not the authorities. Just other people doing drugs and stealing stuff.
Are there a lot of other people that live in the woods as well?
No, no, just me. Sometimes, There have been people in the past, but right now I don't think there's anybody else is out here. I think it's just me.
What's the wildlife like?
Oh, there's a lot of wildlife out here. A whole lot of ticks. A lot of daddy long leg spiders. All kinds of spiders. And I saw a black snake and raccoons. Mm, Raccoons, they steal my food. And there was a turkey out here in the spring. There was a turkey out here. And there's turkeys. There's birds. A lot of wildlife out here.
Do you like dogs? Have you ever thought of a dog for comfort or protection?
Yeah, I love dogs. Love dogs. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe you're having a little bit of a hard time feeding yourself. It may be hard to feed an animal right now if things are a little tight for you, but having a dog is a great companion to have someone with you, not just to
Yeah.
watch your back, but
Yeah.
to also just be there, have company, so that way you're not alone. So
That's a good idea. Be nice to have a dog.
so what do you do with most of your days? Like what's kind of what do you spend your time doing?
Oh, yeah, different things. I ride the buses. Take the bus. When I get some money, get some money to spend, and I go around, to the stores and get stuff, and go to pantries, and you know, gotta go charge up my phones and my phone and stuff like that. So I gotta go to the restaurants and stuff like that.
How are you doing for juice for battery life?
Yeah, I got a charger, a couple of chargers, and get me through, the night.
Ray said if you're interested in, getting a dog, she'd be happy to pay the adoption fee at the pound for you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. That'd be nice.
So Donald's Facebook is I tagged him on my profile, on the Jesse Hell profile. His name is tagged. He's a Facebook friend of mine. So if anybody wants to reach out to him directly and send him a message and, just say that, that you heard him here and that you maybe Ray, you wanted to help out or whatever it is, you can directly contact him and y'all can work out whatever it is. Maybe Donald could go look for a dog and see if he finds one, see if there is a fee or a cost, and maybe someone could help you if that was the case, because especially being out in the woods, just having a dog, and you don't want to get a little tiny one. I don't know what kind of dog you like, but that's a little bit more dangerous to have a small dog just out in the woods, right? So you might want to get a dog a little bit bigger, but you also got to remember the food cost on the size. So maybe a medium-sized dog, all those factors go in. But if you find one that you like and love, it seems like there are people out there that would like to help you, to have a friend or a pet. Your story is definitely, definitely compelling.
Hey, I don't mind small dog. I mean, the best dog I ever had was a little Jug. Was a Jack Russell and a pug, and he was great. I think they might have poisoned him. I think, but yeah, he was a great dog, great little dog, and very very protective and good watchdog. I think he probably pissed him off because he would bark. He didn't appreciate people around the house, so when they would break in and go through my stuff, I'm sure he was harassing him. So
Well, it's interesting what Danielle says. What I learned about dogs during Katrina, FEMA left a lot of people alone if they had a dog. True story. They didn't want to mess with people and their dogs. You know, that's again that little bit sense of protection, but you know, and not just the protection, not just companionship. You know, you have someone there with you, right? Like, you know, you're out there by yourself a lot. So you know, it's nice to have someone. You know, you wake up, hey, you know, you can talk to, let's go for a walk. How you feeling today, and all that kind of stuff. So, ticks are bad on dogs too. Mine got deathly sick with Lyme disease. Had to give him up to get him well. It was so expensive.
Yeah, there are a lot of ticks out here, that's for sure.
You need a shepherd mix or a pity mix. You can rescue each other.
Any kind of dog would be good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. A small kind of pity, you know, a little, you know, they're small, but they're definitely, if they ever need to, they definitely got your back, right? So something like that, what sounds like would be great for you.
Keep the thieves away would be good too.
Keeping the thieves away. Yeah, well, just when people know you have a dog, you're less likely to be targeted, because that's the last thing that they want to do is, you know, try to steal something from somebody that's got a dog that might bite their ass.
Well, go looking somewhere else for their next hit. They're not coming around here.
Jack Russells are very awake, Karen says. Good watchdogs.
Yeah.
They're quite yappy. They're quite aggressive, and they're small. So the food bill would be a lot less. Because all those come into factors, right? Like, you know, because you want to be able to make sure that you're able to feed the dog if you are going to end up going that route.
Absolutely. I don't want. I don't want to. You know, cause a dog any hardship.
So you said the government gives you food stamps, but do they also like give you a little bit of money per month to live on? Is that something that you know, kind of keeps you going?
Well, yeah, I'm disabled. Yeah, I have depression, and I live off of the Social Security and disability. But it's, of course, it's not enough. You know, they're not going to give me enough to live on. you know, my rent for the shelter was $625. So the disability they gave me was like $633. They gave me just enough to pay the rent in the shelter. They want to keep me in the shelter, like I said
Wow,
before.
that's so sad.
They're not giving me the right amount of money. No, it's all corrupt. The whole government is all connected. They're all corrupt. Even the post office was damaging my boxes and all that.
How do you feel about them, you know, being so stingy with, you know, not giving you enough to live, but they have money for war, they have billions for Ukraine, they have money for, you know, Mars, to the NASA gets, you know, 5 million a day. They got money for Israel, they got money for everyone, but they don't take care of their own people. How does that make you feel as a person that lives in the United States of America?
It's just really terrible. It's really terrible the way they do it. They obviously they have more than enough money that they can build the houses. They can run these houses. They don't need slumlords. They don't need to involve slumlords to own these houses. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just greedy. It all runs on greed. This is how they get everyone to do what they do and to sabotage me. Even the doctors. The doctors know that the government can take their license, so they're going to do what the government wants them to do. They're going to take my blood and give it to them because they want to keep making that doctor money. It all runs on greed. That's how they do what they do.
What Linda is saying here, that much for rent for shelter is deplorable. Like I can't even believe that they would even charge you for the shelter. I thought shelters were free, and the money that you make, that where the money that they give you for your disability would be able to, provide you with food or, clothing or any other things. Like this shelters should be something that if someone needed, they were homeless, that they shouldn't charge people for shelter. I don't think that they charge here in Canada, so this is news to
It's
me that
ridiculous, man.
that I never even heard that shelters charge for
Hmm.
people to live in.
Hmm. Yeah, they have to make it a business. They have to make it a business. So you get this guy like this Indian Sikh guy, comes from India, buys these houses, treats people like crap, you know, won't pay to kill the roaches. People got to live with roaches and everything. Pay 625 a month, you know. Got big houses with 20 people in there, you know. So he's making 12 grand off a house, off a month, off a house full of roaches and everything. He puts no money into, you know. The government pays him to feed people, right? So he buys a big can of green, like a gallon and a half can of green beans, and puts that in the kitchens. And there's your food. There's your food. He's just real greedy, just a real greedy psychopath, piece of crap. He needs. I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna sue the crap out of him when I can.
Are you close to Oklahoma City at all?
No, no, but I love Oklahoma City. I used to drive trucks, and Oklahoma City's a great town.
John from
Been
our
through a lot of.
YouTube just said, we just had a great pit bull puppy show up 2 days ago and needs a good home in the Oklahoma City area. So just thought if you were close there would be a dog that, you could have a puppy right from small, to get to know you and know your ways right from the beginning. But you're quite I'm not sure, what state are you in right now?
New York.
Oh, you're back in New York.
Yep. Came back to New York. I had to leave. Arizona was killing me, man. Arizona is really bad, really bad. There's just a lot of people there that need work, and they're more than happy to be stalkers. It's a really, really bad state for a target. So I came back here.
If you were, wanting to camp out more on a permanent basis, not be in the shelters and things, there are warmer states you could go to than New York. You could maybe find something, South Dakota or, something different, maybe a new place, a new area that, because,
Mhm.
being away from the shelters, being away from the big cities, being away from the cold. Those are some of the things that, maybe you could think about, relocating yourself, maybe somewhere, brand new where you could, start off again.
Absolutely. I don't ever want to spend another winter in New York. I've had all the New York winters that I want to take. This is plus with the depression makes the depression harder. You know, that's why I moved out to Arizona, and I really like it out there, and especially in the winter, it makes my depression a lot easier. A lot easier. It's like I don't even hardly have depression out there.
Linda
So
says,
you
as
know,
far as she knows, yes, they do charge for shelters in Calgary, but she's not positive. I had never heard a shelter charging. I just thought people line up and they just,
mhm.
have a free place to stay. That just blows my mind that, they would charge people that have very little to no money, and they have to pay to go stay there when it's all state funded, government funded, but yet they take the government money that they get to go back into the government. Like, it's just that's just sounds insane to me. This just blows my mind.
Yeah, it's more like a boarding house. You know, you want to, you keep. You're supposed to be temporary though. You're supposed to be moving. You know, I'm disabled. That means I'm eligible for disabled housing. I mean, I should pay like $300 a month for a nice apartment. That's how disabled. That's what the disabled people get. But I didn't get. They sabotaged that when I tried to get that. So,
So what do you think your plans are then? Like, what do you have any immediate plans? What any goals? Anything that you would like to accomplish here in the next few months?
I mean, I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to keep going till things can change. I got a lot of faith and a lot of positivity in Trump and the fact that he's going to change the government soon, and it's going to be okay. We're going to have a government that I'm going to be able to sue one day, and I'm going to get compensated properly. That's what I'm looking forward to.
What
For the meantime, I just want to keep going, and so just try to stay relatively happy where I can. Try to cut down on the sabotage. Hopefully straighten out the social services and just survive in an easier way until the government can changes, which I'm sure it will.
Brian says, agree 100%. Don, pleasure meeting you. Joy and peace to you. Hope to see you soon with your dog. They can be very therapeutic. God bless you.
No, God bless, Brian. Nice to meet you. Joy and peace and love to you too.
We all got to have faith in something, Ray says.
Amen. Amen. I'm ashamed of the faith I had. I didn't have a lot of faith. I survived mostly on anger. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't give him the satisfaction of killing me. I wouldn't give him the satisfaction. I out of spite. I survived a lot on spite more than faith, I have to say. But now I have a lot of faith now. And I'm very thankful. I understand how much God has been working for me my whole life.
Brian says, pick a red state for the winter. Yes, but isn't the democratic states more the welfare socialistic states? Like, wouldn't someone that is homeless and disabled, wouldn't it be better for them in a blue state? Like, I don't know I just know from what I hear, but it sounds like the blue like this, people dependent on the government and have programs that help, but he's saying pick a red state, so I'm not sure why. I know red state is a little bit more, safer and kind of open-minded, but I don't know how that works. I think blue takes care of people a little bit better, if I'm not mistaken.
Doesn't matter. Politically, I'm a target, so I'm screwed politically. So it doesn't matter what state I go to. They're going to sabotage me until the government changes, which is coming at some point. Maybe Trump has to be president first, but I'm hoping not. But he's certainly going to be the next president.
Ray's asking, what is Don's spiritual beliefs? Does this help you?
Oh, absolutely. Very spiritual. I'm Christian and Buddhist. Raised Catholic, and then I got into the Buddhist thing, which I like very much. But I believe in God. I believe in heaven. I believe in spirits, and I am psychic and medium, and I have communicated with spirits and have a relationship with spirits.
Have you ever thought about Texas? Danielle says in San Antonio, they got a place called the Bunkhouse. They say you are able to cook barbecue, buy beer, and have a locker.
Oh, it's nice. Good weather down there.
Good weather.
Nice
you
and
could
warm there,
all year round.
Yeah, I did a lot of trucking through Texas. I like Texas. It's a good state, Texas.
Plenty old people on the streets in San Antonio. They say they will rather stay on the streets than to go to a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what your case is like.
Mm-hmm. And a lot worse for me because I'm a target, so I'm gonna be set up. I'm I'm going to be set up too. So not only just the usual robbing and assaulting of an older guy, but especially a Christian that doesn't want to fight. They'll call me weak. They'll call me a coward because I don't want to fight. When I'm a Christian and I don't want to, I'm not turning the other cheek Christian. If you put your hands on me, I'm going to put my hands on you. But no, I'm not trying to fight, and I don't live in that. That's that's just that's the culture. It's a fighting. It's a violent culture. It's a jungle. It's a law of the jungle. Toughest man is the boss, and toughest man takes what he wants, and that's why I'd rather stay in the shelters that are supervised, because that doesn't go on, and people have more respect for the people in the supervision houses. And when there's no supervision, then it turns into a jungle situation, which I definitely don't want to be involved in.
If a genie came up to you in the forest and gave you a lantern and said, if you rub this and you got 3 wishes, what would they be?
And the deep state, for Trump to be president, and for the government to change, so I can get the lawsuits that I deserve.
It's very, very selfless of you.
Absolutely. But it isn't. That's it's selfish for me too. I want, they owe me a lot of money in the lawsuits. It was very bad what they did. They're completely illegal and immoral. Try to secretly kill a whistleblower who just wants things to be right. They owe me a lot of money, and I'm planning on collecting it one day.
What are your thoughts on aliens?
I believe they're out there. I believe aliens are out there.
Do you see much activity? Do you see much activity in the sky? Like, you being out there at night and, you probably look up at the stars. Do you see much, ships or anything? Do you see anything where you're at?
No, I never had, but I'm on a big canopy. I mean, you can see like there's a lot of trees, and I'm on the tree canopy. But no, I've never seen anything in the sky. But I believe that the aliens did crash at Roswell, and it was covered up. And I believe Bob Lazar, 100% Bob Lazar, that he was working with alien spacecrafts.
If an alien ship ended up coming and flying just above you and said, Dawn, we need you for a mission, please get in, what would you do?
Probably go with them. But I would hesitate though, because I know I got good things coming. Finally, took me 54 years. Took me a lot of suffering, but I think I'm finally through that, and I think the last few decades of my life are gonna be pretty great. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful.
Kieran's asking, have you seen any strange activity in the woods? Sounds, strange things? Is it pretty peaceful there?
Very peaceful, very peaceful. Said, one crackhead come around and he acted like he was my friend, and then he robbed me. So, but
that's
no.
what Ray's asking. Do you have any friends?
Yeah. If I have a few friends, yeah. I have a few friends.
Online or in the city you're in, or like?
Yeah, people I met in the shelter system, and also around the street. There's good people around. Some good people around. There's a lot of bad people around. A lot of drug addicts around, but it's getting better. The cops are really trying to clean up Quorum and stop it from being such a drug market. And people were using these woods for a party. You know,
So
think,
here's some advice
pregnant.
here from Lori. She says, Dawn, put your thoughts on higher things than being a target. I'm not denying you are one. I am just saying we speak things into being. Where our minds go, our bodies flow. Much love and strength to you. So when you're saying that you're protected, you got your guardian angels, think that. Think, I will not be a target anymore. I won't let them target me. I think that's what she's trying to say. If you have the mindset, I'm protected, my sister's with me, you cannot mess with me, I am too strong, I am powerful. Put in some of these affirmation words for you, it may be able to help with the energy that is around you.
Oh, absolutely. I'm very positive. It's not my entire life. They got me down. They've taken everything from me, but like I said, my spiritual cup is full, and I'm very grateful for spirits and good people too. I mean, there's good people that want to change the government too.
Have you seen any fairy friends in the woods?
No fairies. No fairies. No.
You're in New
Just
York,
been
so they may
sticking.
stay away from the New York area for some reason.
Yeah, I've been sticking to the weed. I haven't been delving into the mushrooms too much yet.
Ray wants to know if you've seen an increase in homelessness and drug use, in this last 3 years since this whole thing started.
Oh no, I mean it's all pretty much stood steady. It's been going the same, and especially in Coram. I mean it's a big drug spot. Here always has been since the '80s. But yeah, but the police, I gotta say, are doing a very good job. Man. They're doing the best to cut it out. I mean, they were selling drugs at the bus stop. They took the bus stop. They took the shelter out. They won't quit. They keep trying to sell the drugs, and the cops keep doing what they need to do to stop them from selling drugs. And it's good to see. It's good to see that they're really trying to clean up this town.
Chris is asking, how about any Bigfoot or the Jersey Devil? I've never even heard of that. Well, I've heard of the New Jersey. They have that on their hockey team logo, but there's an actual Jersey one.
Yes, yeah. And I got into the Pine Barrens while when I was there, and I've been down there, and it's great. I love the Pine Barrens. I never saw the Jersey Devil, but the Pine Barrens in New Jersey is a great place. 1,000,000 acres. It's a beautiful. New Jersey is really a beautiful state. A really beautiful state, and I think it's going to be great when they clean it. When it's no longer completely corrupt, it's going to be a great state. Same with Arizona.
Do you think then things are going to be fixed here soon? Like, or do you have a good feeling that
Yeah.
the tide is turning? That with all these things that are being
Yes, I
exposed,
do.
do you really believe in your heart that
I
things are
do.
going to get better here soon?
I do. I do. I believe Trump and good military people have been running an organization on the deep state for years now, and they've collected a lot of evidence. And they need to bring it out. You know, I don't know what's stopping them. I don't know what they need to do to bring it out, but I think they have a very good case. I think the good guys have a very good case against the deep state. And then when they bring it out, it's there's not going to be any getting out of it. It's gonna they're completely busted because they never saw it coming. They never thought that people would be looking into their computers and into what they're doing. And also what I know, and also the drug money laundering operation that I know about is also part of changing the government.
Linda's asking, do you think they are finished cleaning up the DUMBs, the deep underground military bases that supposedly had a lot of missing children and things? She says she hasn't listened to Gene Decode in a while for updates, and I just wanted to let you all know Gene Decode is coming back for the third time. We have him booked for July 31st, so we will be asking about that kind of stuff. So, what's your thoughts? Do you think that they've finished clearing all the dumps?
That I don't know, but I hope they did. I'm sure there's a lot of them, and I'm sure they're all over the world, Australia and Europe, and all over the world, and that's part of what needs to be cleaned up. We have to get rid of these dumps, and there's where they're hiding these crimes of the child trafficking. That's got to end. We got to clean up these dumps and anywhere else that they're hiding these evil things that they're doing with the body parts and the adrenochrome and the whole sick evil thing that's going on with these children. I want to see that movie. Definitely want to see that.
Well, maybe if Ray, if you're still listening, and you can reach out to Don afterwards and ask, let him know where he could possibly get a free ticket to see the movie, because it sounds like he's definitely interested in seeing that. Or if anybody else is, I know I've heard of places that they do give out these free tickets. So, have you seen any military presence, copters, tanks, any type that's beefed up at all anywhere in the New York, or have you anywhere that you've seen in your little town?
No, I haven't seen any of that yet. But I've certainly seen the police are cleaning things up. They're ending it. Police are ending the drug business around here. It's good to see.
What's your thoughts on Ukraine and what's been happening there? Do you think that it's a good thing that America is being involved in Ukraine? Do you think that does it make you sad that they send all this money where they don't help the people? Like, what's your overall thoughts on Ukraine?
I think the Ukraine is a bad place. I think the Ukraine is part of the deep state. I think this is where they have labs for processing adrenochrome. I think they're doing a lot of child trafficking through there. I think they're laundering a lot of money through there. And I think the Ukraine is a bad place. And I think Putin is a good guy for trying to end it. The people say that they're Nazis, and that's basically what they are. They're fascists. They're evil people that don't care what they do. They do evil things for their own greed. And I think it's good that the Ukraine is being put down and stopping all that evil that's going on in that country.
Did you ever serve in the military or anything?
No, I was always more into the hippies and 60s and the anti-war thing and anti-Vietnam. Even though that was before my time, but that was always something that I was interested in.
What do you feel about the veterans, how they treat them in your country? Again, they got all this money for, Ukraine, for wars, for NASA, for Israel, but yet it seems like, people that have put their lives on the line to, protect and serve their country get treated very, very poorly in America.
Yes, they do. They only want to treat them a little better when they come into this Social Security system, because they're always asking, "Did you serve in the military?" So I guess if you did, then the Social Security office will help you out a little bit more than they would for someone who didn't. But they should do more. I mean, it's obvious that it's a psychopathic government. They want to use people, get people when they're young, use them, traumatize them, have them go to war, kill people. And then once they're past military age and they don't care anymore. That's a terrible thing. That's what it's because the wars are not legitimate. It's not like World War II with the veterans, they're stopping Nazis. Now they're involved in just helping. They're going to Afghanistan to protect the poppy fields. Yeah, it's just not. Military is really not doing what they should be doing. But there's a lot of good military people, especially the Navy SEALs. Good, good military people that want to change things and make things right.
In this last 3 years, when there's a lot of people being sick for whatever it was, did you happen to come down and get really, really sick in this last 3 years, or were you managed to avoid it, from getting really sick?
No, I avoided all that. Yeah, I took a lot of pressure from people to get that shot. I know too much about the government. Not taking any vaccine. I know too much about them. And I got a cold, and I went to the doctor, and they said it was COVID. Trying to inflate the numbers. Yeah, it was all. That was all done by the government. For to make the vaccine, to put whatever in you, that's gonna change your DNA, or it's gonna dehumanize you in some way. That shot. It's spiritual and scientific and spiritual because it's evil what they're doing. So
Did
I'm
they ever
glad I
try
didn't
to
do that.
force it on you? Did they ever tell you that maybe they would cut off your payments if you didn't get it? Have they tried to coerce you in any way?
No, they didn't. No, they didn't do that. But the doctors did try to talk me into doing it. But, I refused. Same as they try to take my blood. I know what they want my blood for. I want my blood for to give it to the government because they're going to test it and see when I'm doing drugs. And I let a doctor do it just for evidence. And they found some drugs in there, and they started stalking me on foot after that. So I don't trust doctors either.
That's what I was going to
Doctors
ask
are
you. How do you
involved.
feel about them, with what they're, doing, right? I know there's good ones out there. There's a lot of good nurses. There's, good doctors, but, it seems like, there's a lot that push these injections, that push these pills, that got to get people addicted to all these different pharmaceuticals instead of telling them to exercise and eat more fruits and vegetables. Like, doctors like that seem a lot more rare than, the ones that are just trying to, diagnose you, give you a bunch of pills, inject you, and, send you out the door.
Mm-hmm. In the whole 8 years, I only had one doctor ever look into why they're telling him I'm a bad guy and why they're telling him to sabotage me. And he found out, and he was sorry. He was sorry. He did. And yeah, they're all involved. It's too much. This is why they have a license. The government doesn't require a license because they're not sure that you know what you're doing. If you've been through the school and you've been through the internship and you spent whatever the 6 or 8 years or whatever it takes to be a doctor, they know that you can be a doctor. The license is there so they can take away. It's same as like driving. They give you a license because if you mess it up, then they can take it away. This is why the government requires doctors to have a license, because if they refuse to sabotage me and try to take my blood and lie to my face, then they're going to take their license, and none of them are going to be willing to do that for me. So they've been through too much, and they want the money. This all runs on greed. It all comes back to, like I said, it all runs on greed.
Yeah, apparently you're not even supposed to have a driver's license. You're allowed to, travel from place to place in your own personal property. And unless you're doing commerce, so actually, driving for business would be driving, you're not traveling, and so
CDL.
Yeah, so this whole thing is a big scam, and in essence, just for more government control on the people.
Yeah, and a lot of money. A lot of money. You take your license, we give you tickets, fines. You want your license back? Now that's some more money. Yeah, it's all runs on greed, and that's going to change. It's going to be a godly. We're going to have a godly world. So.
Yeah, I call them road pirates, the ones that try to, they're modern day. They want to have maritime law, lost at sea. Then you got these, police officers, I call them road pirates, that are trying to extort money from people because, they didn't use their signal light, or maybe they went a few kilometers over the speed limit. Like, I get if there's, they're patrolling the streets looking for dangerous and erratic drivers, people that are out of control, people that are, putting other people's lives at risk. But, every law-abiding citizen that, maybe goes 3 or 4 or 5 kilometers over the speed limit, and they're going to pull over and give you $100 ticket. Like, that stuff is completely absurd. Like, that's total
Right.
piracy. That's road pirates.
Absolutely. 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 They gotta make their a salary. They gotta make at least their salary, more than their salary, if they want to keep their job. Which is not keeping people safe. Hiding behind a sign to catch somebody doing 20 miles over the speed limit is not keeping people safe. That's making money. The greed has got to stop. Once the greed stops, then everything else is going to stop. Yeah. All the deep state, all the human trafficking, all the drug trafficking, all the targeting, all of that stuff. When we end the greed, that's what's important.
Racing. I got a ticket for not using a turn signal on a roundabout. Seriously, my insurance went way up for nothing because of the state. Easier, cheaper to pay than an attorney. I had an issue where there was a car that was driving in the fast lane, slow. And so I honked at the car and drove around them in the slow lane. And then next thing you know, this car started to chase me, and it was following in behind me. And I went and I turned in the far lane, and it came right in behind me where there was hardly any space, cut the person off. And then so I kind of put my foot on the brakes, so they had to slam on their brakes, otherwise it wouldn't slam into me. So I started going around the roundabout. This car comes beside me on a roundabout. It's only for one car. When you're going a roundabout onto another road, it came in beside me, and then he flashes his badge. It was an off-duty cop that I honked at for being in the fast lane. Well, next thing you know, they show up at my house with the court tickets. I didn't ever see them, and I ended up I got a lawyer, and I went and the lawyer dealt with it, and they pled guilty to a lesser charge because they want to charge me with some kind of crazy. But I didn't understand the whole thing what the lawyer did. He wasn't prepared for court. It was pretty crazy, right? But that ended up costing me 2,000 for the lawyer, and then my insurance went up, about $1,800 per year. I think it was for 4 years or 5 years. So, and all in turn, it cost me over $10,000 because I honked my horn at an off-duty police officer that ended up coming after me, and driving erratic and crazy, and I got screwed by the lawyer, and it was quite a nightmare. My insurance is now a lot less money, but this is just because I honked. Like, I honked. That's all I did, and next thing you know, it cost me over $10,000.
Yeah, we gotta change law enforcement too. I mean, they got big egos, man, and there's a lot of psychopaths in that business too. It's a psychopathic business. You want to control people, you want to force people into things. This is psychopathic. You can't act like that. They're there they're supposed to be protecting the public. They're not supposed to be acting like that. Definitely not getting away with it. So, that's part of what we got to change.
How do you sleep at night? Do you dream? Do you astral project? Do you go and visit other dimensions? What's your sleep state like?
No, I don't astral project. No, I am psychic and a medium, but no, I don't do that. I sleep, just regular sleep, dreams. That's not my kind of psychic. No, it's not my kind of. No,
Do you talk to God?
I pray. Pray.
Do you feel a presence there? Like, I know you said you feel your sister, but and she's your angel, but do you believe that, that you're protected? Do you just feel a sense of peace that, that your heart is right and, that you're okay?
Yeah, I do now. Yeah, yeah. I'm very grateful for a long time. I did. Only recently have I been feeling that I am protected and everything's gonna be all right. But I was it was very rough with the beginning that I had and the family that I had. It was just a very scary situation to be in, not knowing that you're protected spiritually.
Was there anything that, we didn't talk about here today that maybe you wanted to share with everybody?
It's gonna be okay. I can guarantee that good things are happening. Better times are happening. The crazy political world is gonna end. This craziness is gonna end. We're gonna have a godly world. We're gonna end the insanity of politics and the government, and we're gonna end the deep state, and we're gonna straighten things out. It's not gonna be satanic backwards anymore. The way my life has always been. You know, Instead of having parents, I got people sabotaging me. Instead of having a government that cares, I got a government that's trying to kill me. These things are going to be straightened out. We're going to have a godly world soon. So be patient, stay strong, and we're going to get there.
So you really think
stay in faith.
Satan's rule has come to an end here?
Yes. Amen. Satan's rule has finally come to an end. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much
You
for
can ask my
sharing.
friend Saloni too. You know Saloni, right?
Saloni, yeah. We've had her a couple times here already. Maybe 3 times already.
Yeah.
She's been here.
If anybody wants to learn Reiki or anything like, contact Saloni. She's a great friend of mine, and I'll give her a little plug too. And thanks everybody for the donations. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, sending you lots of love. May God bless you in all that you do. May the source be with you and protect it. And may that whole forest area there have a protection, force field around it. And if it's in your, path that you do get a friend, a little puppy or something, some kind of an animal. If not, may some forest animal become your friend there where you can, just come and visit you every day. I'm just wishing some good energy around your little area, and that just goodness comes to you because you got a beautiful heart, brother. And I'm so happy that you've battled through all the things that you've battled through, and you still have a beautiful smile on your face right now.
I'm very happy. Very grateful. I'm very grateful to spirits and good people. It's great.
Okay, well,
thank you, Jesse.
You're very, very welcome. It was nice chatting with you. We've never chatted before, so this is the very first time. This is the very first time you've ever done an interview. I feel honored that that you chose us here at the Missing Link, to have this interview. I really enjoy talking with people, And,
Yeah.
I just hearing their stories, I think everybody has a story and everybody is just as valuable as everybody else. No one person is more valuable. It doesn't matter what you're doing, what you've done. Everybody's just important as everybody else. And that's what we look to show here on The Missing Link. And, we have a
Amen.
whole list of very well-known people that we could be interviewing, but we really want to interview people that have stories to share, like yourself, Donald. So thanks again for sharing yourself here with the world today.
You're welcome, Jesse. Thank you. It's been nice talking to you. Thank you.
It was great talking to you. Well, may the source be with you in all that you do. Thanks
Amen.
everybody for all
You
your
too.
likes, comments, heart shares, and stars. We appreciate all of your love and support. Any energy that goes into The Missing Link is much appreciated by you all. May the source be with you all. I'm Jesse Howell, the host here of The Missing Link. Tomorrow we have one for sure, which is Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. She's going to be talking about the EBS and about different things, what's going on, what she sees going on in the world. But we also have another one, which I forgot about and I just saw today, was Embodiment Celestial. They've got a big YouTube and Instagram channel. They agreed to come on, but they didn't send me their information. So I just reached out to today to see if they're still interested. They're out of Hawaii. So that's at noon Eastern Standard Time. And then Dr. Sandra Rose Michaels at 5 p.m. But we're still not 100% sure on the noon tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. But, we do have a confirmation for Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. So, I must say, Danielle says, I must say a dog is important. So maybe keep that in your mind. And if that's something that you really want, the doors will open and somehow a dog will make its way into your life.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I appreciate
So Chris says, badass shades there, Mr. Jesse. This was
that. Yeah.
someone, Heath K. Diane. She donated these. These are blue blockers. So I do obviously
Oh,
spend hours and hours every single day on this. So I know people can't see my eyes. There's a little bit of a shine because of the computer screen. Maybe if I was up, but it does help. It makes everything out brighter. So appreciate all the love and support. She donates lots of stars here, and she did send these glasses. So that's what these glasses are. So I'd like to see you go to Arizona and get a job as a ranch farmhand where there are lots of dogs and other critters to love you and your heart's content, Don. He says he doesn't really like Arizona. Arizona didn't treat him very well, but I'm sure that he'll find a good place. So for
I
anyone
want to
in
own a
Alberta,
ranch.
you want a ranch?
I want to own a ranch in Arizona someday. When I get my
Okay, well,
lawsuits.
I hope that all goes through. And
Yeah, it will.
for anyone in the Alberta and the Calgary, we have a big Save the Children rally at Princess Island Park in Calgary on July 15th. So you missed the eyes. We'll have here, we're just ending this so you can see the eyes. I guess my facial expressions, you don't see them as much, I think, with, those on, because I do have some expressive facial expressions. But, okay, love you, brother. You have a wonderful afternoon.
You
Say a
too.
beautiful prayer after we're done. I feel just, the earth is listening. And everybody out there, say a good prayer here for Donald. Daniel says he will own a ranch. Maybe a prayer for him to get his ranch. And
Amen.
we'll just keep doing what we're doing here on The Missing Link. Y'all have a wonderful day. Michelle says great interview, very heart touching, and we'll see you next time we see you back on The Missing Link. Love y'all.
Glad everybody
And
liked it.
all right,
Glad
awesome.
everybody
Thanks.
liked it.
Yeah, they did. Thanks a lot,
Yeah,
Donald.
good. You're welcome. Thank you, Jesse.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.